All right, good evening. Thank you for joining us for this virtual information session to talk about the Doctor of Science program in Civil Security Leadership, Management, and Policy at New Jersey City University. I'm Dr. Juste Codjo. I'm the director of the program, and I will be your host tonight. Just a quick overview of what we'll be covering tonight. I will shortly give a brief presentation about the program. That will be followed by some explanation by Ms. Sachie about the application process and the admission requirements. We'll then hear about financial aid, especially student loans and other general information about financial aid. That will come from Dr. Carter. And then Ms. Gargiulo will talk about financial aid for veterans and members of the military. And we'll then hear from our current students. We were hoping to have two. Ms. Mollie Mercado is here. We might or might not be able to hear from Mr. Ishmael Kwawununu, who is dealing with an emergency right now at work. We're keeping our fingers crossed. He's in New York City in charge of campus safety, and they are dealing with a very serious threat at the moment. So he's texting me images and videos, so keeping fingers crossed, and hopefully things will go well. And then we'll end up with a Q&A session, okay? So please keep your questions, write them down, and then we'll have time to discuss them. A little bit about our institution. We are with the New Jersey City University. As I said, we are a public institution funded by the state of New Jersey, located in Jersey City, basically right across from the Hudson River. If you live in New York, well, we're right on the other side. We are a minority serving institution. About 68% of our student body is minority, mostly Hispanic, and then other minority population as well. Now, at the institution at the New Jersey City University, there are two doctoral programs right now, and we are one of them. Ours is located at the, or hosted, if you will, at the Department of Professional Security Studies. That department offers other degrees beyond our doctorate, master's, bachelor's in cyber, in national security, in corporate security. We are recognized as by the federal government, actually, as a center of academic excellence in two different areas, in cyber defense and in intelligence. These are actually very rare recognitions that are given to institutions, and our department is very proud of being one of the very few institutions to have both designations. So if you're a member of the cyber community or the intelligence community, definitely getting a degree from us is a big plus. Now, let's focus a little bit about the doctoral program. As I said, the full title is Doctor of Science in Civil Security Leadership, Management, and Policy. A little advice here: when you're applying, please make sure you write the title just as it is showing right now with the punctuation. We have faculty members who, are very detail-oriented and may catch some of those mistakes in punctuation. So yeah, just putting that out there, okay? Compared to traditional PhDs, we are a little different in many ways. One is that we are a 3-year program. Most or traditional PhD programs will take you 5 to 6 years to complete. Ours, it will take you 3 years if you're committed to doing the work. Also, another difference is that we are an executive program. So the courses that we teach, the research that we do here in this program tend to be oriented toward policy, how to improve policy, how to improve practice, okay? And we are also a cohort-based program. So in traditional programs, traditional PhD programs, you choose the classes that you want to take. You have flexibility. In our program, you don't. We have fixed courses that you take every semester with your cohort members or cohort mates, and you move with that same group from one semester to the other. So that's another difference between us and traditional PhD programs. We are also designed to accommodate working professionals. So if you are working, you just heard me hopefully talk about one of our current students who is Deputy Director for Campus Safety at a university in New York City and still doing our program. So we have folks like that. In fact, Miss Mollie, Mercado, you hear from her also. She will tell you a little bit about her professional background. So we do, and I believe she's at work right now. So we do have many professionals, and we try to accommodate them throughout the program. Now, our whole approach to the doctoral process is also a little bit different than traditional PhDs in that we focus on applied research, meaning, as I said earlier, research that we do is geared toward policy and practice. Now, you as a doctoral degree holder, the goal is to become an expert on a specific subject, okay, a subject matter expert. Now, in master's programs, you may take classes to become an expert in a specific field. In a doctoral program, what makes you an expert is your own research, the research that you do in order to complete your dissertation. So that research makes you an expert. So in our case, the research that you'll be doing can be on a topic of your own choice or interest, and it can relate to any aspect of the broader security field, from homeland security, national security, international/transnational security, cybersecurity, it doesn't matter. As long as it is related to security, we are open to letting you do the research and becoming an expert on that particular subject. We are also a hybrid program. As I told you earlier, we try to accommodate working professionals, and for that reason, we offer our classes take place both online and in person. I'll give you a little bit more details later, but just please keep that in mind, that every summer we will meet in person for 2 weeks. Everything else that summer will be online in an asynchronous manner. In the fall, you meet for 2 weekends, and everything else will be online. In the spring, it's the same thing. 2 weekends, everything else is online. That's the hybrid format. Now, if you were to be admitted to our program next year in July 2024, you would be part of what we call the Learning Community LC13, okay? And this would be the timeline for your degree completion. You will be completing your degree in 2 phases. The first one will consist of 30 credit hours, and the second one, 18 credit hours, for a total of 48 credit hours. So in the first phase, assuming you start in summer 2024, you take 2 courses, current security issues, 1 and 2, okay, over the summer. And then in the fall, you take 2 other classes, policy and budget. And let me say that those 2 courses typically take place one after the other. So it's not at the same time. So you're focusing on one course at a time. First half of the semester, you take the first course. Second half, you take the second one. So that, eases things up for you a little bit. And then in spring, your third semester will be spring 2025. You take emergency management classes, again, 1 and 2, taught by actually, each course will be taught by a different professor. And then in the summer of the following year, 2025, you will take classes in executive communication, 1 and 2, also taught by different professors. And then in the fall of that same year, you take data analysis. That's where you talk about research methods and so on and so forth, also taught by 2 professors, 1 and 2. And there are 2 key milestones at the end of that first phase: 5 semesters, 10 classes, and you will be evaluated on those 10 courses in a comprehensive exam in January 2026, again, if you were to join LC13. In January 2026, you will also be defending your proposal, your dissertation proposal. This is just a way to telling us, okay, here is what you're planning to research, and then a committee will sit down, listen to you, and approve or not approve. If they approve, then you move to phase 2. Okay, you move to phase 2 in spring of 2026. And in this phase, you will start with 2 courses on dissertation proposal. And these courses will help you flesh out your proposal into 3 full chapters for your dissertation. A dissertation typically in our program consists of 5 different chapters. So it's like a book that you're writing on a particular subject. And the first 3 chapters would help you through these 2 courses to develop those 2 chapters. And then in the summer, you have 2 additional chapters that you develop with the help of these 2 classes and the 2 professors that teach them. And in fall 2026 will be your last semester if you were to join LC13. See, it's not that far actually. So fall 2026, you have all your 5 chapters if you do things right, and then you'll be able to defend your dissertation and then graduate the following spring. So expected graduation could be May 2027, assuming you do everything according to plan. If for some reason members of LC13 are not able to complete or graduate in spring 2027, they will still have additional years, up to 7 years total from the day they started to complete the program. Okay, and every semester except for the summer, they will be required to enroll in a maintenance of matriculation. That's 3 credits every semester until they graduate or until they successfully defend the dissertation. Okay, and of course, the successful defense of your dissertation would be the key milestone for this second phase. So those are the 2 phases of the degree completion timeline here. All right, if you were to join LC13, what would your first year look like? Well, as I said, you will join in summer 2024. Classes will start on July 8th and for 2 weeks in July. Week 1 will be for 4 days, Monday through Thursday, so July 8th through 11, and typically 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. with 1 hour lunch break, okay? And the second week is the same format, so it will be the following week, July 15th through the 18th, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. I'm putting this information with specifics so that you know what to expect if you are accepted and admitted. We've had cases where people were admitted and then they, went on vacation overseas and realized, well, oh, okay, I thought this was evening classes. No, it's not. In the summer, it is all day, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. for 2 weeks. And then in the fall, it's going to be this time weekends only, no weekdays in the fall and in the spring. So in September, be in person in Jersey City on the main campus for 1 weekend, Friday, 6 p.m. through 9 p.m., and then all day Saturday and half day on Sunday, 9 a.m. through noon. And the second weekend will take place in October of next year if you were to join LC13. And then your third semester will be the spring of 2025, 2 weekends, 1 in January, 1 in March, same format, same schedule. Okay, and this is just so you have an idea and you can start thinking, okay, if I were admitted, what would my schedule look like and how can I make sure that I take leave from work and that I made myself available and so on and so forth. All right, a big question often is about cost. This is a projection based on current cost for this academic year. As you can tell, for the D.Sc program, 1 semester of tuition and fees will cost $7,811.83. So over 8 semesters, if you pay every semester the same amount, you end up with about $62,500 total. And this does not include transportation and lodging. Remember, I said when we have in-person or residency sessions, you would be attending in person on the main campus in Jersey City. So if you live outside New Jersey or outside Jersey City, you might be traveling and spending the night. If you're coming from out of state, that means that you'll be paying for your transportation and you'll be paying for your own lodging. We do not cover those. We do provide food, so meals are provided during those sessions, so you don't have to worry about that, at least not during the day or during the evening when we have an evening class. Okay. Yeah, with that, I will now turn over to Ms. Sachie to talk to you a little bit about the application and admission processes. Ms. Sachie is the Assistant Director for Graduate Admissions here at NJCU. Sachie.
Hi, okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Sachie Tsumura-Tmart, and I'm an Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions at NJCU. Welcome, everyone. I'm here to assist you so that you can complete your application. And I'm also your contact person for the grad admissions. So whenever you have questions, please do not hesitate to email me, okay? All right, so now you know what the program looks like. Let's talk about how to be admitted. So in order for you to be admitted, in order for you to be considered for admission, you need to complete your application before May 15th. If you would like to start the program next year in July of 24. The earlier you complete your application, the earlier we can make a decision for you. Now, the first step you need to take is to submit the online application. Simply visit our website, njcu.edu, and then click on apply. Apply button is everywhere on the website, so you should be able to find that button. But once again, if you have a difficult time finding the link for the application, once again, please do not hesitate to call me or email me, okay? All right, okay, all right. So many of you are new to NJCU graduate program. So many of you are most likely have to create an account in order to submit online application. After you create an account, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to submit the application. And also after you create an account, you can always go back to the application to check your application status. Now, on the application, we ask for information such as your background information, academic background, and recommenders information. So as you can see on the screen, 2 letters of recommendations are required in order for you to be admitted to the program. So when you are submitting the online application, please make sure to have your recommenders' full name and their email addresses ready. And it's also a good idea for you to check in with your recommenders before you input the recommenders information to the application. I tell you this because as soon as you put the recommenders information in the application system will request the recommender to send the letters. Therefore, it is critical that you speak to the recommender before you input their recommenders' email addresses. What else? So you need two letters of recommendation. Now make sure that the recommenders are your employers, supervisors, your counselors or mentors, not your friends, colleagues, or family members. Okay, so after you submit your application, then you can upload your essay and resume. In terms of a transcript, you're gonna have to email us or mail us the official transcript after you submit your application. Now, let's go over the admission requirements. So as you can see on the screen, you need a master's degree. So make sure that you have your master's degree conferred. If you are still pursuing a master's degree, make sure that you complete your master's degree before the doctoral program starts. And once again, the program starts in July. Therefore, it's critical that you graduate with a master's degree before July. You also need to have your GPA 3.05 or higher. Now, you also need to submit official transcripts. Most of you need to submit 2 official transcripts, one for your bachelor's degree and one for your master's degree. You don't need to submit your high school or community college transcript or NJCU transcript, but make sure to submit your official non-NJCU official transcript after you submit your application. If you went to school outside of US, you have to have your foreign transcript evaluated by NACES, and you're gonna have to request a course-by-course evaluation. The information is available online, and if you get stuck in this section, you can always email me. Okay, so let's go back to the admission criteria. You need a personal statement. Once again, you can upload your essay after you submit your application. Now, make sure that your essay must be a minimum of 1,000 words. You also need to upload your resume. Make sure that the resume shows a minimum of 4 years of security work experiences. Now, if your native language is not English, you also need to submit TOEFL. We also accept IELTS and Duolingo. Once again, I'm here to help you. So whenever you have a question, please do not hesitate to email me. And finally, we look forward to receiving your application soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Sachie. Now we will hear from Dr. Lydia Rodriguez-Carter, who will talk about general information on financial aid. She is the director of the financial aid office here at NJCU. Dr. Carter.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to
the sharing
session. I'm going to share my PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's not letting me. Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. So a little bit about the financial aid office, and not that saying that you may ever want to come, but just in case you're on campus and you want to stop by, we're located on the 2nd floor of Hepburn Hall, room 212. We could be reached either by walk-in, email, or by telephone. If you wish to have an appointment with any of the financial aid counselors regarding any questions you may want to have about financial aid, you can request an appointment by emailing the financial aid email, and in the subject line put appointment requested, indicate that you want Zoom or telephone or in person, and someone will reach out to you and make that appointment for you. Always put your student ID if you have one. If you don't have one and you are just a prospective student, just let us know that so that we know not to look for you in the system, and that we're trying to guide you to what things are available for you, or if you have questions regarding the financial aid process. So it's very exciting. You're coming into a brand new year of 24-25. And with that, there is going to be a lot of new things going on the FAFSA that may not affect you, because it's not really affecting students who do student loans. It really is affecting students who do the Pell Grant. But because of that, the FAFSA has been delayed. So for a lot of you, that means you won't be able to complete a FAFSA until after December 31st of 2023, because that's when it'll be available. You only need to complete the FAFSA if you want to be considered for federal student loans. If you don't want to do student loans, or you are going to pay for your tuition some other way, then you don't need to complete a FAFSA. But if you're going to finance it by the federal process, complete it in time for that. By the time classes begin, you have your award package. If you do not have a FAFSA ID, or maybe when you did your master's, you had one, and it's been a while, please go there now to reactivate your FAFSA ID. The federal government is recommending that everybody have their FAFSA ID before the FAFSA is available. It takes about 3 days for them to validate a person's ID, and you want to make sure that if there's anything extra you need to do, that you do it in time for you to complete the FAFSA. Our school code is on the screen, is 002613. You'll need that so that we can get a copy of that FAFSA. We need the FAFSA to be able to determine how much federal student loans you can receive. We also need to know what your loan history is, because we need to make sure that you are still eligible to receive the student loans. So the student loans for graduate student is the unsubsidized loan. The maximum you can get annually is $20,500. That's about $10,250 per semester, which usually is enough to cover the fall and the spring, your direct costs from the school. If that's what you want to do and how you want to pay. If you need a little extra for transportation or lodging, we can absolutely consider you for a Graduate Plus. You do need to complete an additional application on studentaid.gov, letting them know that you're interested in that, because there is a credit check that is pulled. It is called a soft credit check, which means that they're looking to see if you have anything delinquent. And typically, if you don't, they approve it. And then that credit check is really good for almost 180 days. You indicate how much you want. If you want the max, we'll let you know what the max is, and then you can go from there to decide if that's what you want. We always tell students to borrow what you need, plan, determine what it is that you're going to be needing so that you can borrow what you need for the full year. You have to have at least 6 credits in this program. It's already created in that way, so you do qualify. But if at any time you fall below 6 credits, it does mean that you won't qualify for the federal loans, because the federal government does stipulate that a student be part-time, and 6 credits is part-time status. We do have other methods of payment. We have a payment plan. The Bursar's office is the office that you will need to start that with. We ask students that if they're thinking about a payment plan, that they start early in the process. For the fall is in August, for the spring is in December. That gives you more months to divide the amount that you want to put on a payment plan so that you're paying in small allocations. If you're going to be paying some other method, then you can let the Bursar know how that method is so that they are aware and they are able to work with you to make sure that you're not negatively impacted in any way. But they do expect that you have some sort of payment with the Bursar's office by a certain time to be allowed to continue to register at the school. The Bursar email is there if you want more information. There's also information on the New Jersey City University website. And Dr. Codjo, I'm sorry, I hope I didn't say your name incorrectly. He did talk about the cost. While the cost that he mentioned is the direct cost, what we will charge you, we do come up with a cost of education for each student that consists of room and board, transportation, miscellaneous, books, and supplies. We will let you know what that is so that you can probably plan. I mean, the loans are enough to cover your direct costs, but if you need anything additional, then you let us know so that we can tell you what that cost of education is, and you can go ahead and borrow additional more. We tell our students plan accordingly. This is a big step you're taking, and you want to make sure that you're not negatively impacted in any way. So think about what it is you're going to do for your first year, that whatever that is, you're going to be doing that for the next 3 to 4 years. Make sure you have that FAFSA ID before you complete that FAFSA. Please look at your emails. Make sure that that email is an active email and that you're continuously looking, because they may ask you to do something additional or ask you to come back in to complete something. They will reach out to you once they've processed your FAFSA or if there is something wrong. Also, at this time, collect your documentation. Whatever income documentation you're using, collect it. Whatever information you're using to complete that FAFSA, collect it somewhere that if you need to supply it to the office, you're able to do so because it's at your fingertips. Check notifications. Sometimes additional documentation is required from our office before we can proceed. So please check whatever email you have on file is how we're going to communicate with you. If you have not heard from us and you know it's close to the beginning of school, please reach out to us just to do a check. Make sure that everything is okay before classes begin. FERPA. FERPA on file is very important. You are the student and you are the most important person in our world. But in your world, you have many people who are very important and maybe are invested in you pursuing this new journey. If they're going to be calling the office, calling for information, or assisting you in any way, payments, taking out loans, co-signing loans, whatever, please put them on your FERPA so that when they call the office, we can freely talk to them. It sometimes becomes a little frustrating sometimes when people call and we can only discuss general information because we don't have a FERPA on file. So if you have a significant other, a partner, a relative, whoever that person may be, who is going to take this journey with you and be your resource, make sure that they have a FERPA on file so we can discuss freely with them anything they may want to know. Again, important to review your emails, make sure that everything is okay. Sometimes it may go to junk mail the first time, so you want to make sure to move it so that everything continuously goes into a good folder or a good email inbox. Disbursements are not done until 3 to 4 weeks into the semester, and that's very important. Because if you are doing refunds and that refund is how you're going to be doing certain things, that's when your refund will be actually sent to you shortly thereafter, not the day of the actual disbursement, because the bursar does need to do their part, and that is to review it. So please plan accordingly. Realize that it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks before any actual credit may be refunded to you. If you need to buy textbooks, they do allow you to be able to put some monies on your e-card so that you can buy textbooks from the bookstore, etc. However, but if the refund is something you need for other expenses, that could take a while before you can receive it. And again, you're doing the payment plan, think early. The quicker you're on it, the more months you have. This way, you're not having these big payments that you need to do. Again, thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope to see you around campus.
Thank you, Dr. Carter. We will now turn to Ms. Elaine Gargiulo so she can talk to us about veterans and members of the military, assistance to members of the military when it comes to financial aid. Elaine, please.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Elaine Gargiulo. I am the Director of Military and Veteran Services here on campus. Thank you, Dr. Codjo and Sachie, for inviting me. I was invited because this is a very attractive program for military students, especially with the GI Bill and the New Jersey National Guard waiver program. So I'll spend a few minutes talking about that. But before I talk about the benefits, I just want to say that I have been with the school for a very long time. I was here at the inception of this program. I am very fond of this department. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about the National Security Studies programs, all bachelor's, master's, and the doctoral program. I am happy to say that the very first graduate of the doctoral program is an Army veteran. Dr. Alakba was the first to embark on this journey back in 2012 when it started. And since then, we've had 9 people complete the program that have a military background. So we are thrilled, very proud of all of them. We currently have about 8 right now that are military that are in the program. One who hopefully will be defending her dissertation in a couple months, graduating to become number 10, and hopefully more that I'll be hearing. And hopefully, if some of you are military, I'd like to see you join the program. We've had all branches in this program. The main benefits that tend to be used are the New Jersey National Guard Benefits Program and the Post 9/11 GI Bill. In terms of the New Jersey National Guard, the waiver program covers the tuition. So as long as you're in good standing with either the New Jersey Army or National Guard, every semester you submit a waiver, your tuition will be waived. And the only thing that you are responsible for paying are the student fees, which based on what we saw earlier is roughly $700 a semester for fees. Everything else is completely waived. In terms of the post 9/11 GI Bill, depending on your entitlement, the program is fully covered. It is treated as a full-time program with 6 credits. It is treated as in residence for BAH housing purposes, as long as you're taking the 6 credits, because of the requirement that you meet on campus at least once per term physically. That meets the requirement for in-residence coursework. So $3,800 a month is the current BAH if you are 100% eligible for the post 9/11 GI Bill. In the beginning of the semester, once we get all your paperwork and get you situated, we notify the Office of Students Accounts that you are a veteran receiving this benefit. They will put a hold on your account so you're not penalized or dropped for non-payment. And then once the semester begins, we will charge the Department of Veterans Affairs for the cost of your tuition, and then they'll pay us. If you are receiving any type of financial aid, the financial aid will be released once the GI Bill money comes in and pushes it out of your accounts. Your book stipend will be activated as long as we get you enrolled in the program earlier on. The book stipend is released 2 weeks before the start of term. And then you will start to see monthly housing payments at the end of each month. In order to receive the GI Bill, you have to complete a month to get a month because they pay in arrears. So those are the two most popular programs that are used for our veterans. I have an assistant. Her name is Ms. Randy Fontanez. I'm going to drop our information into the chat. So if you do have any questions, I'm also going to stay on the line till the end. I'm happy to answer any questions about the program. Let me just make sure that I told you everything I have to say, because Dr. Codjo, you know me, I could go on and on forever. Yeah, I think that's the bulk of it. But like I said, I'll drop our information in the chat. If you are military, please make sure that you reach out, let us know. We're happy to help guide you through the process. And thank you once again for inviting me, Dr. Codjo.
Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate it. So let's now turn to our students. Miss Mollie Mercado is here. Mr. Ishmael Kwawununu probably won't be able to make it if you heard me earlier because of an emergency going on at his work. That's what we do, obviously, in the program. We are security professionals, and yeah, we are the ones who have to deal with not the so much fun stuff, right? So yeah, Mollie, do you mind? Please tell us about yourself, why you got into the program, and what you've experienced so far.
So hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Mollie. I'm a second-year doctoral student in the program. I'm currently at work. I work for Gucci as a security operations specialist. I manage the Southeast and Central regions. In the program, my research is on active school shooters. I have published 2 articles. I have one pending right now. I guess my biggest word of advice is doing all the hard work up front. And Dr. Codjo and I have spoke about this so many times. I've even spoken to Ishmael about it. You know, it's really all about time management, finding a topic that you're interested in, listening to your advisors and being able to maneuver when needed, doing the work up front because it will help you so much, you know, come year 2. That was the approach I took after doing this information session and hearing from current students at the time, you know, putting the work in, time management. And that is like the biggest life key to this program. Also making very great connections. That's a huge perk of having a LC and cohort. You become very close with those people in your class and even your professors. In undergrad, I went to the University of Arizona and there were 600 people in my class, and it was very hard to make those connections with professors and other students. But you know, in this cohort setting, you're really able to connect with everybody and form fantastic relationships with all the faculty. They're absolutely amazing. They are the people who will answer your phone call at 2 a.m. to help you. That's the level of dedication in this program. And also reaching out to, you know, people who are in other cohorts as well, just for guidance and understanding, and really taking advantage of you know, the resources around you and the people around you in this program who want to see you win, want to see you cross that finish line, and you know, the friends that you make along the way. I'm very fortunate to be in this program. I have to say, between undergrad and graduate school, this program by far, the level of attention from faculty, responses, their support, I have never experienced anything like that between my other two degrees. I think that is a huge thing that separates this program from a lot of other programs out there. And especially in that smaller setting, so you could really make those deep connections to help you. And it's really just reaching out when you need help or assistance, or you just want to bounce an idea off of somebody. Everybody in this program is so fantastic with that. So if you have any questions at the end for me to further, explain, you could let me know. I'm here.
Thank you, Mollie. And again, unfortunately, Ishmael won't be able to make it, but let me just tell you briefly about Ishmael. He joined the program this year in July. He's Deputy Director for Campus Safety at a university in New York City. And when he joined the program in July, he was interested in, floods in Ghana, right? So he wanted to do research on, floods in Ghana, and that's what he has been pursuing so far, and is now, getting ready to make or at least submit a first publication on that topic. Mollie is in her second year, as you just heard, and she's had how many publications yet? 2, and a third one on the way. When she first joined us, we said, whatever you're reading and writing, try to get it published. She probably thought we were, crazy, because she was like, me published? And look, less than a year and a half later, she has 2 publications and a third one on the way. So yes, if you join the program and you are serious, we are here to get you to the finish line on time. That's all we're asking. That you put in the work, that you show commitment and interest. That's all. I'll leave you with just information about the program. We started in 2012, as Elaine said earlier, and so far we have awarded about 36 degrees, and 30 more people are working on toward a degree in the program. And we might have, 5 or 6 or 7 graduates in the spring, coming May. We crossing our fingers. And after graduation, after completion, most of our graduates have received promotion at work. Others have found job at universities or in colleges as professors. Many of our students, as I told you earlier, have engaged in publishing their work with different journals. They attended conferences. They've spoken at different gatherings. So yeah, we support our students. We encourage them, and they have been doing fantastic work so far. I'm leaving you here with testimonials from one of our recent graduates, Dr. Travis Edelman, who completed his doctoral degree here with us from 2019 through 2022, so 3 years. He is a deputy U.S. Marshal, but he is also at the same time a lieutenant colonel in the National Army Guard, and is currently a battalion commander in the Arkansas Army National Guard. Now, normally I will let you read his testimonial, but I'm assuming some of you are joining from the cell phone, so you might not, it might be too small for you to read, so I will read this out. And here is what he told us recently in an interview with him. The D.Sc program at NJCU ultimately changed the way I go about thinking. I've become much more critical of ideas and challenge myself and others to prove their positions with quality research, going beyond the way we feel. Since graduating, I've been surprised at how many senior leaders tracked my doctoral progress and reached out when I completed the degree. Since earning my D.Sc, I have been promoted in the Army National Guard and selected for additional tasks outside my normal duties. I've also been surprised to find how many of my senior leaders also held doctoral degrees. and now reach out to me much more often with questions, advice, and guidance. It has opened numerous doors, allowing me to network and build relationships at higher levels within my agency. This is what he told us. He's been here, he was here for 3 years, and who knows, this could be you. So it's up to you. If you're interested, let's talk about it, and we are open for questions. Thank you.